Hey YouTube, welcome back to Part-Time Fab. So on today's episode, we are getting back on the Lincoln PowerMig 210 MP. And as I had mentioned in the last episode, I had some parts on order from USA Weld, HTP USA Weld, and I have indeed got those items in. I got this little catalog. It's actually updated from the last one that I received, and got a big sticker. So I'm not sure where I'm going to put that. May put that on the side of the welder somewhere, maybe on a toolbox, not sure, but that was really cool. Also, a little shop update. I know I mentioned last week I was going to get a plastic container for all the pieces and parts for the PowerMig, so I picked one of those up this week. Haven't had time to sort it. Been doing a lot of stuff. Been real busy around the house lately, so got to get that sorted. Also, I'm going to give these a try over the next few weeks. I found a website, Lehigh Valley Abrasives. I ordered some of their grinding discs and some flap wheels from those folks. You go out to Lowe's and you get some flap wheels, and I think, you know, they're fairly expensive. You're looking around $7 to $8, maybe even $9 a piece. I think I picked these up for maybe $2 to $4 a piece. So I got a bunch of them. I got a big assortment. I got actually a couple of these are 24 grit. So those will bring some metal off or some rust off real quick. And I got some 60, and I think I got some finer grit. And I thought I did, may not have, but those have been on order for a while, and they were on back order, and just got those in. So maybe I'll throw up a review on these in the coming weeks. But I'll let you know if you're interested in seeing this. Post a comment down below or shoot me an email. You can find the email address on my website or on the YouTube channel. I think you can just, probably the quickest and easiest way is just post a comment below and let me know if you'd find that interesting. So, so here's HTP Weld USA. Here's their magazine, and here's some of the pieces and parts. As I'd mentioned, I found that they offered a kit explicitly for this welder. Because this machine doesn't come with a part, I guess Lincoln wanted to keep the cost down, because this is a PowerMig with Tig capabilities. I guess to keep the price down, and it was an attractive price, $9.99, just under $1,000 for a stick MIG Tig. They sacrificed a little bit, and they didn't include the I forget what they call it, but basically it's the connector that makes the plug. It is the plug for the foot pedal. So that's a pretty important part, as you might know. So you have to buy that, and you have to buy a Tig Torch, and the foot pedal, of course, and then you will need a Flowmeter. I think last week, or in the last video, I kept saying regulator. I guess to be technically right, it's not a regulator, it's a Flowmeter. So apologize for that, but technically it's a Flowmeter, but I sometimes use regulator, Flowmeter interchangeably. They're not the same thing. But so here's the kit, and what I intend to do is to open this kit up, let you see it, see what's in the kit, and you do have to take your welder apart somewhat to install the kit, because that plug actually has to connect to a few things inside, and I'm not sure yet. I've watched another video that just said you have to put this in, you have to install this, and they didn't show anything. So what I may do, like last video when I showed me hooking everything up, just had some music playing, didn't really talk, just hooked the thing up. That's what we may do again, is you'll see me probably, this is what I intend to do, see me taking the case off and all the things that you have to do to get this kit hooked up. And this is not just Weld USA's kit. If you buy the parts directly from Lincoln, they're the same thing. You have to take everything apart, so it's not just because it's from HTP. So I guess without further ado, let's get to it. So when I got the box, I think this was the first thing that I got, and it was already opened, and I think it was put in a separate box because I had ordered some tungstens. These are not included in the kit. I ordered these separately. We'll be putting them in our little pieces and parts box. Here are the instructions for installing the foot pedal module to go in the machine. They do send instructions. I have not read these. I mean, I literally just got this and got the other video filmed and got this the next day or two, and here we are in this video. So I've not had time to even look through these, but it's multi-language, I can see that. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 pages of steps, 18 steps in total. Doesn't look too bad. So that doesn't look too bad. And it does come with a little parts kit that says genuine parts from Lincoln Electric. And it looks like some screws and a couple of nuts. So that at least they are buying their parts from Lincoln, I guess, directly. The Tig Torch that comes with the unit does not come with the collet or the diffuser or any of that. Not a diffuser, a gas lens. You have to provide that, although it did come with a back cap. I think this hose, or the torch lead, is 12.5 feet long. It is not a flex head, although I do think, I do believe you can request a flex head. I don't know what that'll take the cost to. I believe my cost was, well, I believe I can tell you right here. The kit, just the kit to upgrade this, was $369. So not really bad. I think when I looked at Lincoln's website, it was quite a bit more. I still don't think it breached $500, but you know, it was a little bit more, which is one of the main reasons I went with this kit. Plus, I had ordered from HTP before, so that wasn't a big deal. But this is basically how the torch comes with the back cap, and I do have all the guts and everything I need for this. And this is a CK17V. So that being CK, this may be a CK worldwide torch. They do usually ship with the red lead, so I'll see if I can't find any more part numbers on this unit just to verify that. But this is CK17V, and then it's got a RG. which the V stands for valve, because the torch does need a valve. Now, something else I would like to point out. When you get this unit, I assume there would be a plug that when you hooked your argon up, the argon would still feed into the machine, and then once you put it over on TIG mode, it would just open up the valve that the regular MIG gun uses, and the argon would just flow through continuously. That's what I thought. That is not the case. This torch comes with a, looks like about a 4 or 5 foot gas lead. This hose will screw in directly into the Flowmeter on your bottle of argon. That when I looked up the manual for the torch lead that Lincoln was selling with this unit, that's how that torch lead's manual said to plumb all this together, and I assume that's exactly the way it's going to have to work. That may be the norm for some multi-process machines. I'm not really sure. I don't have a whole lot of experience with multi-process machines. This one's the first one I've used. So just wanted to point that out because I hadn't read that anywhere else, and I just assumed that this would plug into the machine, but it doesn't. This goes straight to the Flowmeter on your bottle of argon. So let's move forward. All right, and here is the plug. This will go inside the machine. Looks like it's just got a big connector, and this is probably just a grounding strap. That's what this little bag of goodies was for. Looks like just a few screws and flat washers, because you will just screw this into the case over here on the door, and then you will ground it. I'm assuming somewhere you'll ground it, there'll be a place to ground it. So hope you can see that. From what I remember reading, this is a standard plug. You should be able to get an aftermarket pedal to work on this fairly easy if you wanted to buy the pieces and parts, or perhaps you've already got a foot pedal. This appears to be a 6-plug connection, and if I remember reading right, this is a standard connection. I'm pretty sure of that. So that's all in that box. And here is our Flowmeter. Looks like a nice made unit. Got a good weight to it. Goes up to 60 SCFH and 50 PSI written on there. So let's see. So it appears there is a little connector here on the side that is on there. It also comes with an adapter just to put a regular hose with a clamp on there, like a water clamp or something. But this hose off the torch lead fits right in there. And you'll snug that down and you'll be good to go. And this, let me point out, this does not come with the kit. I did order this separate. Speaking of that, for prices and everything, I forget what I paid for this, but I'll try to put a link to this kit down in the description. I should have said that a minute ago, but this kit was actually so new that I messaged HTP on their Facebook page, and it took a day or two, and they messaged me back and said they have just added it, and they sent me a link to this kit. So really new kit, but I did buy this separate. This does not come with the kit. Let's see, and this one has tape on it. And this is our foot pedal. Looks like a good length of cable here. I'm sure since the torch lead is 12 some feet, I'm sure this probably matches that length. Wow, this foot pedal feels heavy duty. Metal, is not plastic like some of the others. It says HTP America Incorporated, and it's got their address and number, serial number, and model number right there. But that feels really solid. It's got a non-skid on the bottom, and it has a sandpaper non-skid on the top for where your foot goes. Not that I've done a lot of TIG welding, but I have read a lot and seen a lot of videos that is very important. So when you put your foot down, you're not sliding all over the place. So that's real important. But that's pretty much it. That's what comes with the kit. Really good foot pedal. Appears to be a CK Worldwide torch. And I'll try and verify that it is a CK Worldwide. I'm not seeing any more numbers on here, but I guess now that we've got all the parts out of the box, let's cut, and I'll bring you back, and we'll see about getting this plug installed in our machine. So hang tight. Okay, so we're done. We've got the plug in, and I do have the foot pedal connected. And I just wanted to let you know what tools I used. I used one of the magnetic pans just to hold some screws. I put the screws from the back in here because there was 2 different sizes, and then I got to noticing the other screws were similar but not exactly the same. So I did segregate the bolt holes from the back, the top, and the front and the side. I kept those all separate and put them back in their respective place. So I used the pan. I used 2 different size Phillips screwdrivers. A normal size, I think this is a 2, yeah, number 2. And I have no idea what this size is, PH1. So use that. And the flathead screwdriver, long. A pair of needle nose pliers. A small adjustable wrench, and then I used a 1/4 inch breaker bar with a 5/16 deep well socket. I did remove some of the screws with the Phillips, but I should have been using the 5/16. Made it easier. When you do it, use the 5/16, much easier. The instructions say to use a pair of needle nose pliers to help get the connector in there. When you're looking at your kit, it's the connector to the board plugged in. It says to use these. Now, I don't know if these are just too big or what, but these were useless in trying to get that connector plugged in. What I ended up doing was I used my finger to fish through this side, and I used this long flathead screwdriver to help wiggle it around and eventually get it in, at least started in, and then I used this to push it on in until it clicked into place. One thing about the instructions on taking this apart that I'd like to note is it wasn't, it told me to take this back panel off and then take the cable loose for the fans. Then take this Phillips head screw out up here. I thought it had forgot about this screw, but it was underneath the fan. You can't get to the fan until you take this top screw out. So, and this top screw you can't see. There's a little panel on the back that I'll try and get you a shot of right here, so you can see that. And there, it's hidden underneath there. So you've been warned. One thing I don't like is this panel, this side panel when it comes down. There's no hole or anything for this to exit out of. So your panel, if you leave your cable plugged in, it's pretty much just going to be open forever. I guess I might be able to squeeze it closed, but that puts a lot of pressure on your cable. Something for the future, I don't know if you'd want to do this, but to cut a hole, not necessarily a hole, but a hole that exits out the side. That way your cable can come right out and you can still close the side panel. Don't know if you want to do that. I'm not sure, may end up doing that, because that sure seems to put a lot of pressure on that cable. But for now, we're going to leave this up, and I think we're about ready to plug it in, make our setting changes here on the interface, and run a beat or two. So let me get some of that stuff set up and I'll bring you right back. Okay, YouTube, here we are with the moment of truth. Let's turn her on. That's a good sign. Excellent. So we are back to the settings that we had the other day. Now, I hope you can see that. It's about as close as I can get you because of this table. But okay, so what we need to do is go to our home screen. Now we were set on MIG steel C25, so we're going to go all the way over here. That's our TIG setting. Okay, now this is reminding us that we need to do our torch needs to go into the negative side, which I think I told you wrong a minute ago. Here is my stinger lead, and we have put it into this other side, and we have moved our grounding clamp over to the positive side. We are using 100% argon. And this is for the foot pedal selection, so yes, we are using a foot pedal. Now we can use 1/16 or 1/32 or 3/32. Now technically you don't have to use one of these two electrodes. That's where the custom settings comes in. You might want to use 40 thousandths. And I happen to have a few of those, so we'll try that at some point. But right now, what I've got loaded in the torch is 1/16, so that's what we're going to select. Now, thickness. I'll be honest, I'm not sure what the thickness is, but I think it's around 20 gauge. So let's just select 20 gauge. Use pedal to activate output. So what that is telling us is that we are going to be touching the electrode to the metal, and then I think the procedure is you touch the tungsten to the metal, then you activate the foot pedal, which tells the machine that you've got a circuit and you're ready to weld, and then you lift up and the arc instantly starts right then for you. So we've got 50 amps, 1/16, 20 gauge, 100% argon. We're ready. I've got the bottle turned on, so and I did purge already, so I've got some metal right over here. I'm going to pause just for a second and bring you right back, and let's try and strike an arc. Okay, so here we are. I've got a little piece of metal here. Some of you may recognize this from the Eastwood TIG welder video. This is what I ran a few beads on. We're just going to make sure everything works, and then we'll do do a little cleanup. I haven't wiped everything down with acetone yet, but we'll get it, and we'll get it in just a minute. But let's give this a whirl. So we've got our valve. Let's turn our valve on. All right, so that was a little bit difficult to initiate that arc. I am sure that it's the user and not the machine. I will say that this arc was much better and much more stable than the Eastwood unit that I had tried before. You know, in saying that, I have to remember that that machine did burn up essentially. There was something definitely wrong with it. But this machine definitely seems stable, and I could see the arc very well, and I made a nice little ripple across through there with no filler metal. Once I did get started, it seemed to work really well, much better than the experience I had before. But this getting the arc initiated is going to be a learning experience, to say the least, which I guess is just part of the deal. So I'm not going to talk anymore until the end. I guess let's get some video of trying to make some beads here. And we're back. So I'm real happy with the machine so far. The only thing I am unsure about is this lift start TIG. It, for a beginner, this seems much more difficult than I imagined it would be. It is not how I anticipated it. When you touch the tungsten to the steel and then you hit the foot pedal, the arc is initiated and it sticks. So I am not sure if it's lack of understanding how to do it, or if it's just my big boot and I can't feel that there's a spot there. Because every time I get to the threshold of the machine is ready to go, I can hear it click. Actually, it's almost like the solenoid for the CO2 mix is kicking in, and it probably is. But I'm real happy with the machine. The machine ran, I just run like a couple of beads, you know, maybe 4 or 5, no, nothing big. But the machine seems to be doing good. It's going to take me some time to get used to this lift start, figuring it out. Maybe bring in some shoes that I can actually feel the pedal, and get used to that before I wear these big boots to do the same thing in. Just to kind of get used to it. I'm going to have to get me. I'm going to have to find my gauge that tells me what gauge of steel I'm using, because this, I've got it written on here that it's 16 gauge, but I'm not super familiar, but I've got one of those little round circular discs that you kind of slide over the edge and it tells you what gauge it is. So with this piece here, it's still a little warm. I ran 2 good beads, and this top one, this last one, I had the machine set too hot, which is why I need to get the gauge to tell me what gauge the metal is. But I think I'm going to like the machine. Definitely installing this plug was very cumbersome. I really think for the added benefit to Lincoln's customers, if that plug came with it installed out of the box. No Tig Torch, no pedal. Let customers buy those on their own. And a note on that, I was actually watching another video the other day, and the guy had a good point about Tig Torch and MIG accessories, about you know, typically you use a machine for a couple of years, you wear out the accessories, and then you buy aftermarket. Like you'd get the Lincoln equivalent to the Tig Torch, and then you'd use that until you burn the cable up or something, or you just got tired of it, and then you'd go buy a CK Worldwide or some Weldcraft, you know, another good brand, and you'd have an aftermarket torch, which might be better. Most of the time aftermarket stuff is maybe a little better than the OEM equipment. Definitely with the grounding clamp, I can typically say that aftermarket grounding clamp, big heavy duty sucker, you know, it's much better than that little flimsy thing that usually comes in the package. But not to get off on a big tangent on that, but if when you buy a welder, if it didn't come with accessories, maybe a good idea that some manufacturers need to think about in the future. You know, a lot of people like to buy stuff right out of the box and put it all together and use it immediately. I understand there's a large part of the consumer is probably that group, but people like me, I typically, as soon as I get something, where it be a welder, maybe an ATV, for instance, for an example, car, you know, the first thing you do, you buy the car, you start thinking about accessories, hop-ups, things that you can do to improve the performance or whatnot. A welder, I don't think is any different. If this welder, if they could have dropped the price from $9.99 down to say $7.99 by not including a MIG cable or something like that, you know, would I have turned around and bought a Lincoln MIG cable? Maybe. I might have went to HTP USA Welds and bought one of theirs. They do have them. I forget what brand it is. It may be their own brand. It may be Weldcraft. Seems like I was looking at something like that the other day, but I don't know. Maybe that's a little food for thought, but I definitely, to get back to the guy with the other fellow with the video I seen, he really had a good point there, that just buying a machine, just the machine, and you go out and buy all the other accessories separately might be a good idea. But anyway, back to this video. Happy with the machine. Didn't like having to take it apart to put all the stuff together. The pedal seems to be good. My foot didn't slip at all on it or anything. Let's Start Tig. The jury is still out. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I definitely need a lot more practice. But if you've not seen that other video of the Eastwood machine going up in smoke, go back. Let me just click here, and that should take you back to the other video and watch that. But I definitely will do a follow-up video to this series. I do have one more video. I don't know if it'll be the next video. I have another video I want to make, this machine, arc welding. A viewer sent me a text the other day, or sent me a message, and wanted to know how the arc welding was on this machine, and I told him I hadn't used it yet. So that is something I do want to do, definitely. So I don't have any yet, but I'm going to pick up some 7018 and maybe some 6011 or something, and do a little stick welding. So look for that video. Should be fairly soon. But I guess with that, let me know how you like this video. Give it a thumbs up if you thought it was okay. Give it a thumbs down if you thought it sucked. You know, if your feelings are more complicated than this, leave me a comment. Always enjoy comments. I can say that I read every comment, because frankly I don't get that many, but maybe this video will start that steam rolling going with a bunch of comments. But you know, let me know what you thought. Give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down, share the video if you want to. I guess always hit that big subscribe button. That really lets me know if you like the videos or not. And plus you'll be able to, if you've subscribed, you'll get those in your feed, and you can see how I like this machine, because I will do a review video on how it's going. But I guess with that, let me invite you to go over, watch some of my other videos. Maybe you'll see the video or the series on this welding table, me building it. But I guess until next time, thanks for watching Part-Time Fab. See you next time.